My friends, my beautiful, beautiful friends, the time has finally come and the Sonic movie trailer has officially hit the internet. And I've got a really important thing to say about this trailer. What is that, you might ask? Well, let's talk about it right now.
I got hot sauce in my bag, swag.
A quick shout out to Just Sam. This is their fan art of Metal Duckles, which they posted like forever ago, yet again. And I gotta say, Metal Duckles is looking pretty cynical over here. I'm loving those evil eyes over there. This is making my day. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. Anyway, hello there, beautiful human. My name is RidersDX, and welcome to my channel, where today we're talking about, you guessed it, the brand new Sonic movie trailer that just hit the internet today. And wow, there's a lot of things to talk about with this trailer. And you know, I've been watching a lot of people's reactions to it in particular, and been reading a lot of comments on what people are thinking about it. And there's been a lot of people telling me that the trailer is out, even though I did know the trailer was out. I mean, it's a little bit hard to miss if you're like a Sonic tuber and you're following a bunch of like different Sonic accounts and all that. So it's a little bit hard to miss, so you don't have to remind me. But I appreciate it nonetheless. But yeah, there's a lot to digest. I took a look at it. I'm not doing a reaction to it. The reason I'm not going to do a reaction is because copyright sucks. So what this video is going to be about is I'm just going to give my quick thoughts about the movie trailer. It's still very fresh in my mind, so I want to watch it again and like do a much more in-depth analysis of it. But I'm going to give my brief thoughts about it, and I'm going to talk about something that I realized from watching this trailer that I think everyone needs to know when it comes to the Sonic movie. So stick to the end of the video if you want to know what that is, because I think that's something that will help to kind of put things into perspective into like why the movie is being made this way. A lot of this trailer we kind of already knew the details of from people that saw the trailer at CinemaCon, so a lot of things that they said were true. I will say one of the first things I noticed is that like they got the ring sound effect right. That's probably one of the only things I didn't like about the teaser trailer, is that when that ring sound came up, it didn't sound like an actual ring, and I was like, I didn't really mind it, but I'm like, why replace the ring sound effect at the same time? So they changed that back at least, and this is just one of the many examples that makes me believe that Paramount went back to the design and the movie overall and tried to change some things around to kind of appease Sonic fans more. But of course, there was no way they were going to be able to like change up the whole design. Like, it's just not going to happen this late in the stage, and they really couldn't do that much to Sonic when it comes to how he looked like. And so the first shot we got of Sonic was, you know, on an open world, and you can kind of see how long and tall his body is in particular. And this is probably my least favorite shot of Sonic in the trailer. Like, he just looks very humanoid like, and that's probably like the quality of this design that I dislike the most, is that he looks a little bit too much like a human in terms of his body. Like, I think the last time that they did something like this was Sonic 06. That was the closest Sonic came to like having the form of a human, and it wasn't the most appealing design in my opinion, but they just kind of took it up a notch with this one. And at least from this angle, it's not really an appealing design. But I will say, as the trailer goes on, you see Sonic in other angles, he looks a lot better, especially when he's going really fast. I really like seeing like the special effects that they incorporated with Sonic as he's like speeding through all these different places. So that was really cool. One thing that I was a little bit surprised about with this trailer is that there was a lot of focus on Dr. Robotnik. But now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because Jim Carrey is probably like the biggest selling point in this movie right now. I mean, Sonic is definitely, unfortunately, a very controversial point in this movie. So I think with making this trailer, they kind of thought that like, hey, people love Jim Carrey, and we're promoting the heck out of this movie and talking a lot about how Jim Carrey is going to be a lot like his 90s roles. And I don't really know what that means, so if anyone has any comments on that, then let me know in the comment section below. But half of this trailer I felt like was focused on Jim Carrey, which was very interesting, not what I was expecting, but after thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense why they're focusing a lot of the promotion on Jim Carrey. And so I gotta say, I'm loving Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. It's a very different Dr. Robotnik than what we're used to, obviously. I mean, he just doesn't have the same voice as Dr. Robotnik, but he is just as wacky from what it looks like, and just as much sass as the original Robotnik. So that's really cool, and it's kind of like a very modernized interpretation of Robotnik, which I'm really looking looking forward to. I think Jim Carrey is going to do amazing in this world. Now, in terms of Sonic's design, I gotta say, it's basically what I was expecting. You know, we saw a lot of pictures of Sonic, you know, a lot of leaked designs of him, but none of them look exactly like this Sonic, but I was kind of expecting something close to these lines. So his design isn't very shocking to me, and I will say I feel like I've definitely grown on it. I mean, when I first saw the design, I didn't think it was that bad, and I still don't think it's that bad. I mean, to me, it's just like another form of Sonic, and that's all there is to it. I mean, of course, I'm gonna prefer like the game versions of Sonic because that's where Sonic originated from. That's who I grew up with when it comes to Sonic. But this movie version doesn't really look that bad. Like I said before, the only thing I don't really like is how human-like Sonic looks from some angles. But when you film Sonic at the right angle, he really doesn't look that bad, and at points he does look pretty cute actually. And I'm loving Ben Schwartz as Sonic, by the way. I think Ben's voice acting is going to be a really great part about this movie. I'm really loving his performance as Sonic so far. We haven't seen too much of it, but from what I've seen so far and what I heard so far, it's looking pretty promising. So I'm really excited to hear Ben Schwartz in this world because I think he's going to really nail it when the movie comes out. And also, I think one last thing I want to talk about is just the intense like visual effects that we got of this movie. I mean, I think some people have been complaining about the special effects, but I personally think that they look really good, and it looks like there was a decent amount of budget put behind them. I especially like the scene where like you see all those rockets being fired at Sonic, and Sonic is just like going through them one by one and just evading all the attacks. I'm really liking how they're doing the action part, and it doesn't really surprise me now that I think about it because this comes from the same producers as Fast and Furious, and so they're like masters when it comes to special effects. And I really think that that's gonna be like, besides Jim Carrey, that's going to be this film's biggest selling point is the special effects. I really think they look very impressive, and I'm liking how they look so far. Also, that joke at the end where Sonic was stuffed inside a bag, I thought that was really funny actually. And so if they can have more jokes like that, then I'll be looking forward to it. Oh, and I forgot one last thing. I think this is it, but like seeing Jim Carrey like transform into Dr. Robotnik at the end of the movie, that's basically what I imagined Dr. Robotnik was going to look like in real life. Like, I really don't know what else he could have done with it. I mean, of course, we need to see more of him. We need to see him in full figure mode, but that's basically what I was expecting. He looks extremely goofy, extremely wacky. That's exactly the energy that Eggman needs, and I think Jim Carrey is going to be a really good fit for it. And so, overall, I guess I would say that I had pretty positive opinions about the trailer overall. I think it looks pretty good, and the movie looks like a lot of fun. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I think about the trailer. I know that's very different from what other people have been saying, but you know what? I'm used to it at this point. I feel like I'm just the odd one out when it comes to this movie, but I enjoyed it personally, and I hope you all found some kind of enjoyment from it too. Now, getting back to what I was saying earlier about having something really important to say about this movie that I think is going to be really important for people that are, you know, either loving this trailer or like hating it, something really important to kind of put into perspective as to why this movie is being made the way it is. And this is actually something that I've mentioned before in other videos. I just didn't make like a whole video dedicated to it, but after watching this trailer, it's crystal clear to me that this movie is not being aimed at Sonic fans. Like, it just isn't. It's being billed as a typical blockbuster movie. It's being very similar in the vein of like a lot of action movies, like the Marvel movies, for example. That's the audience that I think this movie is tackling. Maybe a younger version of that audience, but still, that's like the core audience I think this movie is tackling. And the reason I feel that way is just because of like how the trailer was filmed. It was filmed very much like this is an action epic movie. This is a movie you want to see with your friends in the movie theaters and kind of just like be taken on this really fast-paced ride and just see all this action unfold in front of you. It's being made as that kind of movie that's supposed to make millions in the box office, and I don't think they could have made a movie like that if it was completely CGI or 2D animated. Like, that's just my opinion. This is the audience that they were going for, and that's why the movie is made this way. Now, I'm not saying that that was the best direction for the movie. You know, that's up for debate. Like, I know a lot of people would have a lot of opinions on that. If you do, then let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But because of the way that this movie was designed and this movie was proposed, this is why this movie is not being aimed at Sonic fans. It's being aimed at the casual audience. That's why there's so much implementation of humans into this world in particular. together. That's why there's so much emphasis on Jim Carrey in terms of the promotion. You know, this movie is being made for a completely different audience from the Sonic fan base. And kind of sucks, but I don't blame Paramount for it because they're in this for the money. Whether you like it or not, Paramount is a business. They're making this movie because they want to make money. And so they're going to make it in a way that's going to appeal to more people. Now, we'll just have to see if the movie can overcome all the negative feedback that when it comes to the Sonic design. We'll just have to wait and see what the numbers are like in November. But yeah, we're really in this now. This is really happening. And we're gonna see just how this all unfolds as the year progresses. And I'm very excited to keep track of this with you all. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you like videos like these, want to see more in the future. Follow me on Twitter at RidersDX or Twitch. And also join my Discord server, the Spongy Garden. Now this is Riders, riding out. Shout out to my Patreon supporters, Reese Gaming and Barry the Strawberry. If you would like to become a patron, then please take a look at the link in the description box below and take a look at what perks you could get. Thank you so much.